Test, 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 test. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, the Gungans, the Droids, the Kiadi-Mundi-looking coneheads, Rhodians, Twi'leks, Grutas, yada yada yada, across our beloved empire, to today's video, where it's probably going to be the least useful video I've probably made in a while. But you know what? These videos are oftentimes the best videos, because why? Today, I'm going to talk about pretty much something that I love about Galaxy Heroes, and the reason why I still play this game is the top 10 plus one. A top 11 doesn't really sound as nice as a top 10, but top 10 plus one characters that makes me say, you know, I like this game. That's what it is. You know, I want to kind of stay positive, and you know, since Datacrons have come around, it's kind of been noticeable that I haven't quite enjoyed the game as much. But what I do enjoy is obviously the community that we built, the Galaxy Heroes community surrounding it, the Star Wars nerds surrounding it, and more importantly, surely this game never had engaging gameplay. It was maybe one step forward above playing chess, but look at this. You just collect Star Wars characters and kind of play as them, and you can't do that in any other game. So we're going to talk about like 10 plus one characters that make me say, this is why I love playing Galaxy Heroes, and it keeps me excited for the next character to come and seeing what could be around the pipeline. So there's no particular order to this list here, but this is definitively my number one favorite character currently in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, and that's Starkiller. Starkiller, for me at least. Again, this isn't necessarily the top 10 best characters in the game. He's definitely somewhere up there in the top best characters. These are just characters that make me say, I like playing this game. This is why. Starkiller is reminiscent for me. Hold on, I gotta keep this under control. You guys are complaining last time that the Imperial Mouse Droid was all over the place. Let's go ahead. Boom. Man, I'm amazing at this. Anyway, Starkiller reminds me of the old days of Galaxy of Heroes, where, for example, you'd have Captain Rex, Darth Nihilus, Chirrut, Baze, General Kenobi, very weird stuff. Up until about Jedi Knight Revan, that's kind of how the meta was. Just a bunch of random good characters put onto one team. That's what this guy reminds me of. It reminds me of that golden age of Galaxy Heroes where theory crafting was kind of king, and it wasn't forced baked synergy that the developers are trying to sell you through predetermined tags on teams. And plus on top of it, he's a fun character and has one of the best looking abilities in the game. Again, the gameplay, this isn't really a gameplay driven game. It's just watching a couple of polygons and pressing one of three buttons on the screen. But the one of the buttons that he presses, pull it out of the sky. I mean, it's so exciting to watch. So that's, yeah, this character is kind of one of my most favorite characters in the game right now. Let's move on to the rest. And again, there's no particular order for the rest of them, but Starkiller definitely number one for me. Let's see, what do we have next? Oh yeah, this one. Oh man, activate the Dark Trooper. Love me some Dark Trooper action. This is a fun character. It's you know, there's some characters that are like purposely meant to be amazing and all this stuff. This character is fun, and there's nothing more exciting than pressing this one button right here and just seeing your opponents get Control Alt deleted in front of you. You know, Dark Trooper opened up. You know, Imperial Troopers are already pretty decent beforehand. You know, Piet really brought it with the viability, and you could beat a lot of stuff. This guy was just unnecessary overkill, total brutality, and I completely love this guy for that. It's there's just something special. I can't explain it. Just getting him to assist, and then he assists again, and maybe a third time, and just literally punch the living daylights out of characters, and it's fun beating galactic legends with this guy. And plus, kind of a cool character in the Star Wars universe, at least if you ask for my opinion. And you know, while we're here, let's move on to another one. Admiral Piet. Okay. Unlike Dark Trooper, which is just unnecessary amounts of violence right into your face, Piet serves a really important function. Obviously, guy has one of the best capital ships in the game. That's not what gets me going. Ships is like, it's a necessary evil for this game at this point. But in terms, I gotta keep this guy under control. Sit! You sit! Good boy. You stay. With Piet, this guy took the Imperial Troopers, pulled them out of the depths of hell. Before, when I was an Imperial Trooper fanatic, it was, you know, it's kind of like you have those people that are like, you know, mega Scoundrel fans or they're mega like Galactic Republic fans, but the faction wasn't really all that good, but you kind of showed some cute stuff once in a while. That was me with Imperial Troopers. I was there before everyone started jumping on the Imperial bandwagon here. Piet literally just raised these guys from the depths of hell. And the great thing is, it's kind of a loose way of saying plug and play vibe before the entire Empire faction, throw in Palpatine, throw it in with Darth Vader, throw it in mostly important with those Imperial Troopers. It's just, you're seeing the damage just steadily ramp up over time. Oh, it's a sight to behold. This is, again, one of those characters. And again, there is some correlation. A lot of these characters we're going to talk about are great characters, of course, but this guy holds a really special place in my heart. Let's move on. Next one on our list here. Okay, so we're going to kind of get into some... the rest of this list, I promise you, is characters that you can just get without having to worry too much about. But again, these are characters that for me make me say, this is why I like Galaxy of Heroes. And we're gonna put a Conquest character on here. Maul. You know what? We're gonna do this. Maul and Commander Tano. Those are the next two that we have here. Maul and Commander Tano represents for me a very short period of what I believe represents what a Conquest character should be. Sit, boy. Sit. Who's a good boy? Good boy. Stay. They represent an era of Conquest that I wish didn't go away so quickly. Maul and Commander Tano represented characters that didn't need Omicron. They're great in all game modes, and they benefited their respective galactic legend quite a lot. And it's just so much fun seeing Maul, Mandalorians, this absolute, and that sound effect. You know, that's what I said. There's not a lot of gameplay of this game. It's just kind of, hey, checking on your resources, upgrading, but once in a while you just sit here, you kind of say, hey, but how you doing? Maybe, you know, you give them a good flip. You flip them around a little bit here. It's like, wow, look at all this polygons, months of grinding Conquest. And then eventually the guy's gonna, can you show me moves? Show me moves. Come on, do the thing. Do the thing. It's okay. Okay, now he's shot. Hey, there we go. So it's just very satisfying polygons as well. But in terms of Conquest characters, CG quickly abandoned the Maul Commander Tano philosophy of Conquest characters. I love characters that build a team, they work with the Galactic Legend, and they're great in all game modes. Maul and Commander Tano, and they're just so much fun to use. It sucks. We did rank all the Conquest units in a couple videos ago, so make sure you check that out. Here's a card, top right-hand corner. It's okay, feel free to click on that after we're done here. A couple of spicy takes, but I think it makes sense. Nonetheless, let's move on. Maul, Commander Tano, we already talked about these two guys, fantastic Conquest units. We're gonna kind of get back on the normal peasant characters. And honestly, I feel like if you're looking for fun, the most fun you're gonna find are not Galactic Legends per se, but just characters you can farm without any problem. All right, what's next? Oh yeah, okay. You know, all right. This is an interesting, it's gonna be a pocket of relatable characters here. This, maybe it's because I'm biased towards Starkiller, and maybe for good reason. The Starkiller requirements were kind of different than usual, where normally requirements there's some sort of meaningful connection, lore-wise, to a particular character, but no! Starkiller decided, hey, I need a Dash, I need a Mara, I need a Talon, I need a Kyle Katarn, and what's the relationship to Starkiller? Pretty much none! But the characters were so good. They all did some substantial amount of boost for their respective factions. And Dash Rendar is another one of those characters that make me say, this is such a fun character. This is the reason why I like playing this game, collecting the characters and pressing one of 3 buttons 3 times a week when Grand Arena comes around. Gosh, I break it down like that. There's really not a lot to do in this game. It's really just looking at my characters and appreciating what they represent. But Dash Rendar, man, the second this guy came out, an absolute nutbag of a character. Literal drive-bys wherever he goes, smashing Galactic Legends. Even, I mean, it's crazy to see, even with no data crowns and stuff like that. It's crazy to see this guy can beat some Galactic Legends, like, for example, Jedi Master Luke Skywalker. It's one of those characters that you can't help but smile. But to be fair, you're probably not smiling if you're on the receiving end of the Seeker missiles here. Very cool character, unique marquee event as well, but it's unfortunate they don't let you replay those. Staying in this class that we're talking about here, the next unit on my list, it's gotta be, the one, the only, Mara Jade, the Emperor's Hand. And you just know, I'm putting it out there. You just know, like, why would they give her this Emperor's Hand thing? You know there's gonna be probably a Jedi, Luke Skywalker version sometime down the road, but let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Okay, Mara Jade, why do I like her? Emperor Palpatine was one of my favorite legendaries for the longest time, and kind of fell to the wayside at some point. Mara Jade just reinvigorated the Palpatine line, but I think the coolest part about it is you don't even really need Darth Vader. Oh god. Well, I guess we're not moving the mouse anytime soon there. Mara Jade, it's just another fun character, extremely fast, gets out there, throws out the stagger, tenacity down, and just the Palpatine train just starts moving along. And the cool thing about her too, very helpful for Starkiller. So when you're farming for Starkiller, although there's no lore connection, Mara, I guess I suppose you could play as one of the skins of Mara Jade in the Starkiller, in the Starkiller, or the Force Unleashed games. That's, I guess, the one connection there. But using Mara Jade with Starkiller's fantastic, Palpatine's fantastic, and even things like weird Magma Trooper tricks where you do Lord Vader, Mara Jade, Magma Trooper, and just use useful pawn to get lots of turn meter going on Magma Trooper, and then Magma Trooper pulls back all the turn meter. Again, it's a fun character. That's the point of all this. When I use her, it's like, I can't wait to use Mara Jade. Now, excuse me while I try to reassemble my mouse droid here. Where the heck did the other piece go? You may know us. Resume your domination. Oh yeah. You guys missed this, didn't you? Oh yeah, let's get a couple wiggles out there. All right, moving on. What do we have? Okay. I guess there are quite a few Empire characters here. Maybe, I don't know. There might be a slight bias showing in me here. We have Iden versus. Now, if you guys follow me, I have a little speculation. Tinfoil hat. Again, no confirmation, leaks, rumors, and stuff like that. My suspicion is, because people were predicting this character needed for Starkiller when the requirements were starting out. I have a feeling Iden Versio was supposed to be a part of the Starkiller requirements. And then maybe last second, maybe they want to be good folks, and they're like, hey, you know what? Instead of 5 characters, let's just make it 4 characters. So the problem with Iden, not really needed for anything. But the good thing is it's kind of needed because she's an important character that forms kind of an important team in the game. But again, she is probably one of the best examples, probably honestly the best example. Dashrandar is kind of maybe number 2 best example of taking useless characters, dead weight, bringing them back from the bowels of Taco Bell and turning them into it like a B+, A- great team in the game. I mean, if you would have told me several years ago that one day Snow Trooper, Storm Trooper, Shore Trooper, Stark, Death Trooper, we're gonna be destroying teams, I'd have been like, okay, keep dreaming, bud. But no, this character did one of the most impossible things and turned some of the most useless characters, turned them into mega powerhouses, and just being able to, almost like Han Solo, get a turn going right away, using push forward. It's so satisfying. Absolutely love and adore this character. I think another reason why I like this character, it's one of those characters you don't need speed mods on. You can go for potency, offense, something else, because they already have the speed taken care of with their leadership ability, the adapt or die, first in, last out, letting them get that 100% turn meter at the very beginning of the battle. This character, again, it's just so much fun. Not necessarily a top 10 character per se in the game, but man, it's just kind of a lot of fun here, folks. All right, so let's see, what do we have? Okay, now you might be saying, what's all these dark side guys that you're talking about? And I would say to you, what is dark side? What is light side? I would say it's just a matter of perspective. You know, maybe from one person's point of view, they think you're the dark side. Did you ever think about that? But nonetheless, philosophical differences aside, I want to bring up the Bad Batch. You know, one thing, a funny story, Lady of the Star Destroyer. She doesn't really talk about any of the Kyber Club bangers that we have, but like anytime the radio's on or something, out of nowhere, with the beat, she'll be like, the Bad Batch. I don't know, I think it's kind of cute and endearing. But nonetheless, Echo, this really kind of represents my love for the Bad Batch crew. In my opinion, they're sort of like a light side Imperial Trooper team, almost, for the most part. But truly, the team didn't start functioning until Echo. Echo is a big deal. This character being extremely fast, and unlike Iden, you do need some good speed mods on him. But being able to get out there very early, rip off the buffs, land the daze, feed unresistible daze, mind you, healing immunity, and then juicing up your team, it was kind of a big deal. This was kind of one of the few teams that a team of 4 non-legendary characters could just punch up drastically. And I think what I love about this team too, you can use them at low gear, kind of like Imperial Troopers. You can use this team at low gear, like gear 9, 10. You don't need anything crazy, not a lot of Chiral takes, and you can beat gear 12, gear 13 teams. And they punch up big time thanks to that abnormally high base speed. And this guy could be used in a variety of different lineups. I've used him with Darth Vader. So you clear off the buffs off a Jedi Master Kenobi team first, then Darth Vader comes in, does his thing. Being that fast, having unresistible days and buff the spell, kind of a big deal. So another one of those characters where I was enthused when the Bad Batch came to the game. This guy was a big deal. Still is a big deal in my opinion. Easily a top 10 best plug and play character in the game. Versatile character. So that leaves us with technically number 10, but I got one more bonus one for you guys. Number 10 on the list is gonna be the one and only Mando. Now you guys know I like to be controversial sometimes, but I'm right. You guys know that's why it's controversial, because I'm right about it. I'm gonna say it again. This guy feels more legendary than his legendary variant, Beskar Mandalore. And dare I say, and you can't disagree with this guy's a lot more fun and a lot more used and a lot more useful. Facts. You just know I'm right. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay to agree with me. It's all right. It's fine. You know, just try it. You'll feel really good about yourselves at the end of the day. But Mandalorian, again, these are just fun. I think really the best way to phrase this video is top 10 most fun characters in the game. Is probably the more accurate way of describing this video here. Mandalorian, there's just nothing as satisfying. Again, when I'm playing a hero collector game and I only can use my characters 3 times a week and I'm mostly managing just resources, it's satisfying when I can finally use Disintegrate. There's just something just special about it. Just seeing someone, boy, it makes me kind of wish I had something like that in real life where I can just say, hey, I don't like you. Just pull out the rifle, get a disintegration. I'd say a lot more things would be solved if we had a way to disintegrate our foes. But nonetheless, putting all that aside, it's really just this. This kind of sparked not just Mandalorian. I don't want to give them all the credit, but the Grief Karga Mando crew sparked a new era for the bounty hunters. And I don't think to this day, even with the addition of Boba, like I would rather take this guy in Grief over Boba Fett, Sign of Jango. I think that's just kind of a fact too. It's not even like so much of a hot take. These guys transformed the bounty hunter faction to a large level, getting turn meter, insta kill abilities finally in their arsenal. Maybe I should throw Grief Karga. Okay, so it's kind of like a 12 list. It's kind of like a top 12 favorite character list. Grief Karga, mass cleanses, health protect recovery, turn meter, another mass swarm on the team. This was another fun era. 2020 makes me, gosh, are we almost coming? No, I think we're almost no. Oh my gosh, what a reality check. It's been soon, come next year, almost 3 years since this guy came to the game. Gosh, yeah, dang, I've been playing this game for a minute, haven't I? But nonetheless, this is just such a fun character. And the great thing is, useful at low gear. Any character that has an insta kill, you're likely very useful at low gear. So Mandalorian, Grief Karga throwing in the list, incredibly important characters for moving the free-to-play accessible teams forward, entering a new era for bounty hunters, and more importantly, just a lot of fun. And also I think it's funny that I truly believe they butchered the Mandalorian legendary. This guy should have been it, but I don't make the rules here. I just play by them. So far we're breaking our rule of top 10 most favorite characters. We're gonna break it. I think what we have 12. I think it's a 12 list here. So number 12 on the list. Oh man, Darth Malgus. I think the thing I liked about Darth Malgus, a lot of people hated him when he first came out. And again, this is kind of the inverse of Maul and Commander Title, which I'm 100% on the same page. I think it's disappointing that because Conquest characters, especially how much resource they take, how much time that they take, and how chore intensive they are, you kind of want them to be characters that are great in any game mode, and they're just amazing in several regards, like we talked about with Maul and Commander Tano. Malgus isn't that. They're not great in all game. Actually, Yeah, they're great in Grand Arena. Let's start with that. Galactic Legend and Grand Arena. Decent in Territory Wars, a better lead than Darth Revan, of course. But you need Omicrons to really get the full power of this team here. Nonetheless, all that aside, I think the Sith Empire is a really cool team. And they were just like one character away from really getting to that Galactic Legend territory. It was really cool seeing Darth Malgus elevate them to that level. And I think it's just a cool character. Again, it's a cool character list, I think. Characters that I think are cool and that I love. And it's been cool to see people start finally accepting that, yeah, he's a really good character. I remember when the guy came out, we did our squad arena test, and it's kind of hard to do squad arena tests and understand that when the Omicrons are important. I'm like, all right, guys, just wait. I'm pretty sure this guy's gonna be a bigger deal down the road. Definitely is. A lot of fun. Is he as good as Maul and Cameritano? No. Hard to believe that. You really only want to get this guy if you want to bolster your Sith Empire. But on that note, really fun character. And I got to give props to the devs. I think this is one thing we got to keep in mind. It's really hard to create. I feel like the tank is the most difficult role to impress people with. It's easy to create a great attacker. It's easy to create a great support character. It's not so easy making a great tank character, because when you think of a tank, you think of someone that just eats up a lot of hits, but that's not as impressive as a lot of other stuff in the game. But they kind of nailed it pretty well. They had the damage balance, the leader balance, the tank balance. This is more or less the Jedi Master Luke of the Sith Empire. And I think they did a pretty good job trying to make the tank role look a lot more impressive, and something you pay more attention to than just saying, hey, there's a tank, you're reading up a couple hits. But ladies and gentlemen, Gungs and Droids, that's gonna wrap it up for our video today. The top 10 plus 2-ish characters that make me love Galaxers / cool characters / this is why I like playing Galaxers. It's really at this point the community and the hero collection aspect that keeps me around. You're not gonna find another good Star Wars gaming community, at least right now, in the current environment of how things are. But let me know down below, what are the characters that get you going? What are the characters that make you say, dang, I'm excited to farm them. Man, I can't wait to play another day. And the characters that make you stay in this community, and more importantly, make you want to say, you know what? It's great to be in the Empire today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later.